A full... Welcome to the Caltex Theatre, a full hour of dramatic entertainment broadcast over a nationwide network of stations throughout Australia. The Caltex Theatre is brought to you by Caltex Oil, marketers of over 1,000 outstanding petroleum products, in association with Caltex dealers and distributors everywhere. Tonight in the Caltex Theatre you will hear The Concrete Anthem, the story of a man who planned to create a marvel of engineering skill and dared God to stop him. Starring tonight, you will hear John Gray. Your producer, Creswick Jenkinson. The Caltex Theatre presents The Concrete Anthem, Act 1.
Impressive, isn't it, Albright?
Very impressive. Rio Verde Dam, eh?
Did you see it from the air as you flew in?
Yes, it looks like an organ. An immense concrete organ.
400 feet high and a quarter of a mile long.
It must be the biggest hydroelectric scheme in South America so far.
It will be. When and if it's finished.
If? What do you mean, Mr. Brown?
We're 6 months behind our schedule already.
I see. What's the main snag?
The main snag? I could give you such a catalogue of our difficulties here, Albright, you'd wish you could catch the next plane home to Mother.
I imagine supply's a problem.
One single-gauge railway up from the coast. Everything crawls to us over 300 miles of wilderness, even the Scotch, and only gets here when the rains are favourable. Tell me, ever worked with Cheops before?
With whom?
Cheops, the pharaoh, the man in charge.
Ah, yes, Mr. Gurney. No, but I met him when I arrived, and I must say my impression was favourable.
Was it? Do you know what happened to your predecessor?
Health broke down, I heard. Couldn't take the climate.
Health broke down, all right. Couldn't take the stress of working under Cheops.
I suppose you're serious, Mr. Brown.
Oh, you'll love Gurney. Yes, you'll love him. Until he's had the skin off your back and kicked in your teeth. And then you'll either hang on because you like the pay and the shiny big bonus he's promised you, or because you think he's a genius, or because you were born corrupt.
And which is it with you?
A robust constitution. And the sheer horrible fascination of the whole thing.
Look, there's a plane.
Yeah, that must be Cheops back from Quelpo. Gone to fetch his 2 young sons on vacation from England.
Ah, nice trip. His wife coming too?
She's dead. Committed suicide.
Good heavens.
Try to pretend you haven't been told. Come on, I'll show you around the rest of the site.
So you're back, Gurney, are you?
Hello, Macquarie. Anything happened that you couldn't handle since I've been away?
Nothing that the Lord didn't intend.
I saw the minister in Quelpo. Told him we're going to work an extra shift.
You're joking. We're working 18 hours a day now.
We'll work 24 if we have to. We're going to make up on that schedule.
What have you done with your lads?
They weren't on the plane. They aren't coming.
I see.
Want a drink? Empty. Empty. It'll have to be gin.
Why aren't they coming?
Apparently they prefer my good brother-in-law's company to mine.
Aye. They were old enough to understand how your mother died.
She killed herself because she was a coward. Do I let my sons hate me because of hair weakness?
God help you, you've no humility. Not a touch of repentance for the hell you've caused.
No humility. Isn't it humility to let you get away with it?
Me get away with what?
The things I let you say to me.
I know the truth about you, Edward. And I'm not afraid to tell you to your face.
Macquarie only fears the Lord and no one else.
Aye. I fear the Lord and no one else.
And that's the full scope of your humanity. That's all there is. And you're proud of it, you bigot. Now we'll go down to the site.
I've work to do in my office.
I need you down on the site, so come on. We'll go.
Well, thanks for the tour, Brown. I feel terribly lucky to have got in on a job like this.
Your enthusiasm touches me, dear boy. Well, well, look who's just getting out of the lift cage.
Who's the other man with Gurney?
Macquarie, his chief assistant.
He looks older than Gurney by a long shot.
He isn't. Just a harder life, old boy. Glasgow Scott dragged himself up by his bootlaces. Gurney's got all the qualifications Macquarie couldn't afford to pay for. But I'm not sure the old bigot isn't the better engineer.
Have they worked together before?
Oh, yes, for years. Like right hand and left. And they hate each other.
What?
Easy.
Glad to find you here, all right. Having a look round the site?
Yes, Brown's been showing me around, sir.
Good. You met Mr. Macquarie?
Aye, we're acquainted.
You married, Albright?
No, sir.
Just as well. The nearest suitable accommodation for anyone's wife is 60 miles away in a taxo. As it happens, my own wife died a few months ago.
Yes, I'd heard that.
What had you heard?
That she'd died, sir.
Well, we lead pretty dedicated lives on the site. Hope you won't find it dull without wine or women.
I'll put up with it, sir, for the chance to work on the Rio Verde Dam.
That's an attitude I appreciate. Matter of fact, we can do with some new blood, some new enthusiasm on the job. I suppose you've had a list of our difficulties from Brown, including sabotage.
Sabotage? Oh, really, sir?
That shouldn't surprise you. Don't you always find certain elements opposed to progress?
Such as the farmers and villagers are going to be dispossessed by our dam after holding their land since the Spanish conquest.
Mr. Macquarie holds unusual opinions for an engineer. An engineer usually thinks of the huge benefits his work will give to the vast majority of the species.
There are some who set other values higher.
Very pious man, Macquarie. Never hesitate to go to him, Albright, for spiritual advice.
Yes, sir. Sir, this sabotage factor, it surely isn't serious.
Anything that contributes to a loss on our schedule must be taken seriously.
We've said goodbye to our original schedule, surely.
No, Brown, we have not. I've decided to run an extra shift.
What? Oh, but we couldn't accommodate the extra labour.
There'll be no extra labour.
Well, then it's impossible.
My very words.
Gurney, those payans are overworked already. Look at the accident and sickness rate. 20%. 47 deaths in the past 6 months.
I'm putting in an extra shift and that's final.
I tell you, Gurney, it's murder.
Your providence can shift mountains, Macquarie. But only determination, sweat and effort build dams. And this one will be completed on schedule. Is that clear?
Oh, he's crazy.
Brown!
Yes, sir.
See anything wrong with that block that's being poured?
Wrong? I don't think so.
Look at it, confound you!
Oh, I see it, sir. There's a crack between the second and third lifts.
It'll heal with expansion when the block's cooled.
Do you mean to tell me you ignore a crack parallel with the axis of the dam? Tell them to stop the pouring on that block, Albright. Telephone in the hut for the lift.
Yes, sir, right away.
Look, sir, if you don't think I've been doing my job...
Brown, there's been a singular lack of cooperation from the lot of you.
Lack of cooperation?
Yes, from the lot of you.
It isn't cooperation that's lacking here. It's loyalty.
What?
That's what you've never had from any of us and you'll never get.
Brown, would you like to put in your resignation?
No.
My report to head office on the subject of your negligence and incompetence.
You'd have to prove it against my record.
Are you so anxious to have me try?
Gurney, there are some things you're not big enough to get away with yet. I'm not even sure you're big enough to build this dam.
But I'm not...
I'd like to get out of this. For the same reasons the others did. But perhaps I've got more self-respect than you recognize in others. I took this job because I knew I could do it. I still know I can do it.
That's the end of the shift. And the end of your job on this site, Brown.
I'll be in my quarters until I get direct orders from head office.
He's got to go.
Because he stood up to you?
No, Macquarie. Because he thinks the job is impossible. And that type's no use to me.
If you get rid of Keith Brown, you get my resignation too.
I don't want your resignation. Why?
Because every word Brown said was true. You can't build this dam with your own hands. You've got to work with men like Keith Brown. You've got to have their qualifications, even if you don't have their respect.
I can get other men with qualifications.
And you'll destroy. You'll build nothing. You'll only destroy.
Mr. Gurney! Look out! Mr. Macquarie!
What's happened?
The cableway snapped! One of the buckets has crashed into the formwork! It's toppling! Right over their heads! Get back, Macquarie! Back! Patch up my legs so I can get about, Doctor. That's all I ask.
Patch you up, Mr. Gurney? What do you think I am? A shoe mender?
You tell me the bone isn't broken?
Not broken, but deep lacerations. It must be stitched. This job we do in the proper conditions at the hospital.
Hospital? For how long?
2-3 weeks.
Now listen, Doctor. I can't afford to spend 2 days immobilized in your sick bay, let alone 2 weeks.
Mr. Gurney, without proper attention and treatment, you will be very sick indeed. You have something better to do than stay alive?
Yes, I have. Turn round, Doctor. Look out of that window.
Yes. Behold, one is looking down on the fabulous Rio Verde Dam.
That's your answer. You fix me up here in my office and then come back daily to see me.
You think I have time to do that?
I don't know what else you're here for.
Look, Mr. Gurney, there are just 2 of us. Dr. Lazaro, who is not a young man, and myself. And there are very many patients in the hospital.
All right, apply to the minister to get some more doctors out.
They will not come. This is a government job. Not so well paid.
Oh, does that mean we only get inferior doctors?
Oh, no. Only the most conscientious ones.
I see. And I knew you hadn't been here long.
I am interested to come when I hear the figures.
What figures?
Your sickness and casualty accidents. Of course, they don't publish this in Qualpo, and the press is not allowed to mention it.
That's entirely up to your government, who want to get this job done as much as I do.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Gurney?
Now, come in, Brown.
Please, is this important?
Vitally important. Brown, do you know Dr. Cabrera?
How's Mr. Macquarie, Doctor?
I understand his condition's critical. He can't be moved to hospital. We've got to send for his daughter.
His daughter?
His next of kin.
I see.
Contact head office. Get them to notify Rose Macquarie and book her on the first possible flight. And Brown?
Yes?
I'm not going to be able to get about for a few days.
Weeks, Mr. Gurney.
Meantime, I must ask you to take charge on the site.
You want me to take over?
Got any doubts you can handle the responsibility?
None whatsoever.
I don't think you'll make any mistakes when you know what it's like to be in a position where you can't afford to.
Will that be all?
I'll be here in my office if you need me.
Here?
Yes. Here's your chance to catch yourself a lot of credit. And doubtless you'll know how to take a chance like that.
I understand you to say that was all.
Now, Mr. Gurney.
Doctor, how bad is Macquarie?
He's still unconscious. I think Dr. Lazaro will operate on his head tonight.
And you'll help him?
Of course.
Are you the better doctor? Well, say if you think you are.
What value is there in my saying such a thing?
The value of your self-confidence.
Ah. You believe in that?
I believe a man with self-confidence is far more likely to achieve his best than the one without it. Dr. Cabrera, will you operate on Macquarie?
He is more important to you than the 60 men or more in the sick bay?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Gurney, fatigue has put those men there. Fatigue makes accidents.
I am here to build a dam.
And now I hear that you are to put on an extra shift.
Now look, Doctor.
Do not try to move. Don't move. This I answer. See.
And what is it? Is it for me?
It is the camp police. He says that they have got the saboteur, the man who snapped the cableway.
Tell them to sweat it out of him. Find out who's behind him.
But Mr. Gurney...
All right, tell them to proceed. They'll know what to do.
Mr. Gurney's orders are to proceed. Do you understand the brutality the police are capable of?
Is that a national characteristic out here? Doctor, that peon's probably a murderer. He may have killed my chief assistant.
And it may have been an accident.
It was no accident.
That is for a court of inquiry to prove.
Don't be a fool.
I had heard about you, Mr. Gurney. I had heard.
That's why you volunteered to come out here?
I knew there must be one man responsible for what is going on here. Not so much the ministers and civil servants 300 miles away, but one man who could interpret his work in a special way. Now, what kind of a man?
You know, I feel pretty tired at this moment.
There is shock. There is loss of blood.
You mean I'm only human?
I'll give you some morphia.
I don't want morphia. I want some brandy. Try that cupboard, will you?
It will not help you.
It may not be supposed to, but it will. Go ahead. Prescribe, doctor. What kind of man? Do you know what, doctor? I hate destruction.
Do you?
I was in the war. You know what hurt most? The destruction of the Myrna Dam. Power, wealth, industry, progress, smashed. You know something else? We've got to do everything we've the power to do. Even change the face of the earth, and that takes effort. And effort has to be given. Often even life itself has to be given, and those are my convictions, Doctor. Satisfied you know a little more about what kind of a man I am?
End of another day's work, Brown. Well, this one saw the draft tubes in position.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, pretty good going, Albright.
Thanks to the extra shift. Keops was right, you know. It's working well.
You think so? What about this new fever epidemic? The men are too tired to fight off any bug that happens to be circulating.
Well, those peons don't have to work their guts out unless they want to.
No. They're like dumb animals. Put down a bundle of fodder and they'll haul a ton of bricks up that mountain to reach it. In this case, it's the pay and the bonus.
Exactly.
Poor, simple idiots. They'll end up looking and feeling as if they've done a life sentence in a chain gang by the time Gurney's finished with them. Tell me, do you still think he's a great man, Albright?
Yes. And are you quite sure you don't think so, too?
Oh, I think he could be.
Now you're being honest.
He's got the drive it takes.
You're telling me the fellow's dynamite.
That's it exactly. Dynamite. The stuff that goes off with a bang and smashes everything around. Unless it's controlled.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
You will. When it's your turn to take the blast, you'll see exactly what I mean.
Hello, sir. How's the leg?
I'm sick of the confounded thing.
You look as if you're still running a fever. Should you be driving around like this?
Now, that fellow Cabrera's enough of an old woman without my engineers starting. Here, give me a hand out, will you?
Right, sir.
And pass me that stick.
Yeah. You lean on me.
Thanks, all right. Thought it was about time I paid my respects to Rose Macquarie.
Oh. Now, sir?
What's the matter?
Well, I'd rather planned on asking her to come for a swim. I'm off shift for a couple of hours, you see.
Oh, you had you?
Yes, below the Cofferdam, downstream. The river's quiet and safe there.
Do I understand you've been helping to take her mind off her father?
Well, I've done my best, sir.
Attractive, is she?
Oh, no, of course you haven't seen her yet.
Not since she's grown up, which I gather she has.
Oh, she rather reminds me of a Botticelli angel, sir.
She's her father's daughter, all right. A good Calvinist Scot with streamers. If you lure her down to the Cofferdam, it'll be strictly for a swim. Well, you better come back later.
Yes, sir, yes, I'll come back later.
Well, Rose, can I come in?
It's you.
Came to see if you're comfortable here, and of course to say how sorry I am.
Come in, Mr. Gurney.
You mustn't worry. I saw him just now for the first time. Now, he'll be all right.
They say he might not know anything when he becomes fully conscious.
His mind might be affected, you mean? Who said that, Cabrera?
No, Dr. Lazaro.
Oh, he's an old ass. Look, I'm telling you not to worry. Why didn't you come and see me when you arrived?
I went straight to Father. I was with him 2 days and 2 nights.
I was hoping you'd come and see me, Rose. Remember the last time we met, you were hardly up to my shoulder.
I remember, Mr. Gurney.
Oh, mind if I sit down? Get me something to drink, will you?
If you wish.
In that cupboard over there. I'm sorry to make you wait on me. So you're studying law at Edinburgh.
Yes.
If you've got brains like your father, you'll come out with a first-class degree.
He should have had the opportunities he's given me.
Oh, he hasn't done too badly, you know.
But he's had to fight. Here.
Oh, thanks. How about yourself?
I don't take it.
Oh, why not? Drop now and then is awfully good for the nerves. Your father knows his job.
And he's a good man.
Oh, he is. A very upright and God-fearing man. How much do you resemble him, Rose? I wonder.
I couldn't say, Mr. Gurney.
I can't get over how grown up you seem to be. Remember, I've known you from a sprat.
Since your wife had me to stay for school holidays.
You liked her, didn't you?
Very much.
Well, and how are you enjoying university life? I hope going to Kirk on the Sabbath isn't your only form of relaxation.
My going to Kirk or not can't interest you, Mr. Gurney.
You're Macquarie's daughter. I'm interested in everything about you.
And not because you've any affection for my father.
What makes you think that I haven't?
He writes to me, Mr. Gurney.
Naturally.
And he's told me why...
Why what?
Why your wife killed herself.
He must write you quite extraordinary letters, Rose.
He admired you once.
Then he got to know me better, eh?
You hate him, don't you?
I need him. He had as much to do with designing this dam as I did.
And that's your only reason for not wanting him to die, isn't it?
It's only easy to work with him, Rose, not to live with him. I've taken more from Macquarie than I'd take from the Archangel Gabriel himself.
More of what?
Abuse. I've taken it from him for years because I need him. And he stays and does his job because he believes he's doing the Lord's work on me at the same time.
And you laugh at him for that?
Yes, I laugh at him. Because if I didn't, I'd knock his teeth in. I can see he's trying to give you a very bad impression of me, Rose. I hope you've still got an open mind, though.
Do you, Mr. Gurney?
A man doesn't like a woman to think the worst of him until he's had a chance of proving it to her himself. And now I'll leave you. I go in and see Macquarie, Doctor?
I'm afraid not. Only this morning he was completely conscious for the first time.
Well, at least he's making progress. How long before I can get him back to work?
Oh, a long time. Now, I'm not so pleased with that leg of yours. You're using it too much.
I'm hardly doing anything.
Mr. Gurney, you must rest that leg of yours, or you may lose it. I mean this.
Oh, let the thing rot. I can't afford to let it interrupt my work any longer. And if I've got to do it without it, I'll probably manage.
It gives you a lot of pain?
Yes, constantly. Well, I'm the boss, Doctor. It's going to be made to understand then.
At least you have a lot of courage, Mr. Gurney. One day you may even use it properly.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't you start moralizing at me, Doctor. Hello, Rose.
Oh, you here, Mr. Gurney?
Came down to see your father. The doctor won't let me near him. How is he?
He's a little better. He spoke a few words to me.
Good. My jeep's outside. I'll drive you back to the bungalow.
Thank you. I'll walk.
The sun's much too hot. Besides, I can't have you walking through the camp dressed like that. Decidedly attractive, but don't you know how long it is since we laid eyes on a woman round here?
I'll take the chance. Thank you, Doctor. I'll come back this afternoon.
Very well, Miss Macquarie.
Goodbye.
It would seem that you are not a favorite in that quarter, Mr. Gurney.
Might be interesting to see what I can do about that.
Mr. Gurney,
Hand me that confounded stick, will you? I can still catch her up in the jeep.
And so the curtain falls on Act 1 of tonight's Caltex play, The Concrete Anthem.
Next time you fill your tank with gasoline, fill up with new power, new performance, new economy. Fill up with Caltex butane boosted gasoline. That's the gasoline made to take better care of your car's performance. Designed for today's faster pace. Caltex butane boosted gasoline at the sign of the Caltex Star, where we take better care of your car.
The Caltex Theatre now presents John Gray in The Concrete Anthem, Act 2.
Hold on tight. The road's awful here.
Oh, please. Don't drive so close to the edge.
You'll get a tremendous view of the dam, down over the lip of the gorge.
Please. Oh, thank heaven.
Oh, come now, Rose. Never saw so much color in your cheeks. You're enjoying it.
So that's the dam.
Here it is.
So huge. Tremendous. It's fearful.
Oh, aye, fearful big, eh?
No, just fearful. Man-made. It seems blasphemous somehow.
What a delightful idea. You mean it stands there as a sort of man-made challenge to the works of the Lord? Well, it does. Think of it as a man's fist, if you like, rammed straight into the teeth of that savage river beast. It's going to tame it and put it to work like a domestic ox.
I've never seen anything so vast.
There's nothing more impressive than a really great dam. Nothing more exciting or satisfying to build. A beautiful bridge can be like a symphony soaring over deep waters. You can hear music in it. But a dam is like an anthem.
An anthem?
Yes, it sings to you in a great voice. You look at it curved like a gigantic organ and you hear the anthem it plays to you. A splendid hallelujah in massed concrete.
An anthem to what?
To achievement, Rose. To this small pair of hands we've got that can take hold of a tool and make a bigger tool and then a machine. And it's to the mind that can conceive a thing like a dam, and the will and purpose and desire that get it built. And it's to the prospect before us as well, when there won't be any more deserts or useless wastelands or hungry millions of poverty and filth. What are you trying to do? Look through me.
You're a very strange man, Mr. Gurney.
A wicked one. Your father says so.
And I utterly believe everything he told me about you.
Do you?
All of it.
It's a good thing you do. So you know I'm not going to blame you for being your real self when you feel like it.
I don't know what you mean.
Rose, I'm not a kid like young Albright. I've used my senses a heck of a lot and never misbelieve what they've told me about women.
Leave me alone.
Why say that to me? Tell young Albright and let him know you mean it.
Have another drink and forget it. Come on, Albright.
I don't want any more, thanks.
Well, you better resign yourself to the fact that there aren't many other spare time occupations left open to you, old boy.
Oh, shut up, Brown.
Now, look. You're not going to tell me you've had time to get into deep waters over your Botticelli angel?
No, it's not only that. It's the way Gurney... Oh, to blazes with it.
You got in his way and he bulldozed you. Just like I said.
Well, I didn't know. Look, he's old enough to be a father.
And with that idea in your clean, upstanding mind, you went along to the Rose Bower, found Cheops in possession, and expected him to back out gracefully?
The beastly way he acted. I couldn't have believed it.
You didn't care how you took it, so long as you got the message?
He needn't have... He shouldn't have... Oh, he's a swine, isn't he? Gurney's a swine, isn't he?
Oh, that makes it unanimous, doesn't it?
I'm afraid I can't see that it's amusing.
Amusing? My dear Albright, the hate round here's like a powder magazine. The only question is who'll trigger the fuse.
You're setting up, Father. I'm so glad.
Aye, Rose. It'll not be long before I'm better. You best be off back to Edinburgh and waste no more time from your studies.
I don't know why you're so anxious for me to go.
Because there's no longer anything to keep you here, child.
But...
better start making arrangements to go home. I'm not easy in my mind when I think of you missing your studies without need.
I'll not go back for a while yet, Father. Not until I'm satisfied.
Of what?
That you're recovering well.
Rose, there's nothing to keep you here.
It's no use, Father. I'll not go.
Look at me.
Yes?
Are you telling me the truth?
What do you mean, Father?
About why you're so reluctant to go home. Don't lie to me, Rose.
I'm not lying, Father.
Whom have you been seeing most of while you've been here?
Most of the time I've spent in the bungalow. The rest of it here with you.
You're lying to me, Rose. Brown and young Albright were here yesterday. They told me you're about with Gurney all the time.
He showed me the dam and the powerhouse and the plant.
Then why did you lie to me and say you spent all your time on your own?
I didn't want you to upset yourself.
Should I do that knowing you're with Gurney?
Father, I'm no child.
And you don't believe what I've told you about that man?
I know you've made your own judgment of him.
From what I've seen him do, yes. The harm he's caused. The innocent people he's injured. The wife he's destroyed.
Why should he be like that? Why?
Because it's in him. Just as it's in all of us. The will towards evil. And he hasn't the strength to fight it in himself. Because he's no fear of God.
Father.
The only power Gurney worships, I tell you, is his own power to make men and machines, set up creations in steel and concrete to his own glory.
Father, you mustn't get so excited.
And you've lied to me, Rose. For the first time, lied. Now, the truth. Tell me the truth.
Oh, please, Father.
The truth, Rose.
There is no truth about me. You never knew that, Father. No real truth about me. Father! Doctor! Please come quickly!
Going? You don't want to, Rose.
I'll take the mail plane tomorrow.
You don't mean that either.
Don't touch me.
What did your father say?
I've told you. He knows about us. And I thought it would kill him.
It didn't kill him.
He didn't even look at me again. He just told Dr. Cabrera that he'd be all right. He'd get well. And the way he said it...
Sounded like a threat. To me.
I've got to go.
Why? Because he told you?
No. Because I hate myself.
Rose, do you want me to marry you?
I think that would kill him.
How long are you going on like this, letting that old fanatic dominate your wretched little conscience and govern your life? Rose, you can't let him own you like this.
When he was away, I felt different.
Yes, and when he was ill and weak, it was the same thing, wasn't it? He seemed far away then, but now he's getting better, creeping up closer behind you all the time, and he's got you right back on the pin. Well, that's not love. It's poison.
What do I mean to you? You don't think I'm fool enough not to know, do you?
Haven't I said I'll marry you?
Marriage doesn't mean anything to you.
I've an idea that in the circumstances it could be a great help to you.
No.
Rose, take your chance. Set yourself free.
Set myself free? Sometimes that costs too much. You would not know because you've never paid. Others have done that for you, haven't they?
Dear girl, you sound so accusing.
Father said there's no fear of God in you.
Why should there be?
Why? Not of God, then of something. Anything. Something bigger than oneself. Because if you haven't that, you don't recognize any limits of conduct at all. Don't you see?
Do I?
I'm afraid of my father. I admit it. All right, more than I should be.
For a grown woman, definitely more than you should be.
That's because he's the only one I'm capable of fearing. I'd rather be afraid of his anger, his disappointment, his contempt, than feel there aren't any consequences to be feared from what I do. Yes, I'd rather be governed by fear alone if I couldn't be governed by love. I'd rather that than not be governed at all.
And you've always done what you know is right because of it, haven't you?
Of course not. But at least I'm capable of hating myself at times. Are you?
I don't know, Rose.
I don't think so.
Well, what a strictly moral little sinner you are. I'd better see you take that plane tomorrow, hadn't I? I'm not saying we're definitely in for trouble, gentlemen. But we've got headwater coming down that gorge at 30,000 cusecs already. And this rain may go on for days. So the quicker we can strengthen the cofferdam, the better for us. That last section's nowhere near cool. And it isn't ready to take any sudden pressure yet.
If we're flooded out now, it could set us back for months.
Exactly. The cofferdam gets priority. And I want all our available labor on the job as from now. All right, any questions from you chaps? All clear and understood?
Mr. Macquarie.
Will you all go, gentlemen, please?
Oh, what the blazes are you doing coming all the way up here from sickbay, Macquarie?
I want a word, Mr. Gurney.
Glad to see you're so much better, Mr. Macquarie. We were just about to leave anyway.
Yes, we're going.
Come on, Albright.
Right, yes, I'm going.
Sorry it's so long since I've been down to see you, Macquarie. Sit down. Here's a chair. Let me help you.
Keep yourself away from me.
All right. But mind this. I'm not taking any more from you. I'm not taking it this time.
I know all I meant to say to you this time. Not for what you've done to my girl.
I haven't done anything she had any objections to. And if you think you've a right to...
I know you, Edward. There's nothing you ever did that you didn't want to. Nothing you ever wanted that you've had the power to deny yourself. You've denied yourself nothing. and always made the same excuse.
That so long as I can do what I'm meant to do, nothing else matters. And you're going to tell me that's not allowed?
It's not to be allowed you any longer. You're going to be made to pay. That's what I'm here to tell you.
I'm sorry for you, Roy. You've never seen it. That success isn't a thing you're given, it's a thing you take.
You fool!
Success with women just as much as anything else.
It's not going to be long now. And you'll find yourself down on your face, beaten down in your face by a power and a will far stronger than yours, Edward. It'll be terrible indeed for you when it comes. Worse than the suffering of any man who believes in the will of God.
Oh, snap out of it, man, can't you? When did your preaching ever get anywhere with me?
I'm warning you.
Look! We were going to build a dam together, you and I. Now you're better, we can get on with it. You know I need you, Roy, because I need the best. And Roy, I make you a promise. I promise that when we've built the Rio Verde Dam together, you'll find yourself engineer in charge of the next big contract the firm handles. Isn't that what you've wanted? Ever since you were an apprentice? And knew you'd never get anything the easy way?
I'll be away from here tomorrow.
You're not fit to travel.
I'll be away from here on the mail plane tomorrow.
All right, go. But tell me if you've any intention of coming back.
I'll make you a promise, Edward. If the Lord sees fit to give me the strength to do His will, I'll be back.
Well, Mr. Gurney?
Doctor, what's all this Easter business, huh? Waste of time.
It's Holy Week, Mr. Gurney, Holy Week. A time of worship and spiritual elation. Surely you... What's this about your leg? I thought our troubles were over. Will you let me see it, please?
All work stopped on the dam, Doctor. Your pans have taken a holiday.
Of course, quite officially. On Good Friday, what do you expect good Christians to do? Will you put the leg up on the chair, please?
Yeah, whole truckloads of them. Made for the nearest villages. Whole truckloads.
We have big religious festivities all over the country at Easter. Everyone attends. Now, please sit still and let me see this leg, huh?
And you didn't go? Why didn't you go and join the processions and goings-on, Doctor?
Mr. Gurney, I still have many patients in the sick bay.
Praise be for one thing, anyway.
For what?
We finished strengthening the cofferdam before everybody left. Listen to that rain.
Yes, we've not had such torrents of this time of year for a long, long time. Now then, what happened to you?
I fell down.
That's bad. And it will hurt as I unwind the bandages. Now tell me, how did you fall?
I fell down because my leg gave way. Much better have it off, huh?
Much better not to drink so much.
What in thunder else do you expect me to do? No work, everything stopped dead, all the pans off in truckloads, rain pouring down. All alone here, no women.
Well, it's a very bad way to treat this leg, you know that.
Oh, that hurts.
Of course it hurts.
What's the matter with the thing? Why doesn't it heal?
What's the matter with you, Mr. Gurney? Do you know?
With me? Oh. Yes, I do. Of course I do.
You've been drinking too much.
I do everything too much.
Why?
It's because I have to. If you're to be any use at all in the way you want, you have to know how to live and how to sacrifice other people.
I see. Well, it's very interesting.
I rather wish you wanted to understand, Doctor.
Yes?
I should like your indulgence.
My indulgence?
It's time I was able to justify myself to someone.
Why to me?
You know your job, and you'd break yourself to do it properly. That I like. You know what it's like to have something important to do, and when people get in your way...
Who are such people?
The ones who expect you to change, in here deep. And my wife was like that.
Yes.
She got tired of the way I was, and she wanted someone else. Fell in love with some kind of sentimental slob, and it wasn't like me to let her have him. So she killed herself, you see.
Dios mío.
As a result of that, my sons don't want anything more to do with me. Well, I can do without them as well.
Now, this hurts. All of it hurts.
Did I ever say I'm not prepared to get hurt? Kill when you must and be killed the same. When you start getting involved with the dynamic gods, Doctor, you must be prepared to get hurt and suffer your share of pain. Look at my leg.
Yes, your leg, and the death of your wife, and the hatred of your children. That hurts.
This leg could still kill me, couldn't it? If I hesitated to cut it away when the time came.
And to be maimed, that wouldn't trouble you?
No. My body isn't the material I've got to use for what I'm doing, and neither is love, nor compassion, nor a conscience. I don't think you're going to give me what I asked you for, Doctor.
I do not know what I must say to you.
Say you understand me. You don't like me, but you understand me. Just say that for me.
Yes, Senor Gurney, I understand. Yes, finally I understand. And I am sorry.
Sorry? What, for me?
Sorry that you misuse your power. The tremendous power you have to do great things for all of us. And what you can do for us, believe me, we need, Senor.
How vastly reasonable of you to say so, Doctor.
But you see, I also believe this, that nothing really good, nothing that lasts can be given us by any man who has not learned to govern himself first of all.
Oh, yes, but look
Power
here.
without control can only destroy, Senor Gurney.
Wait, did you hear that?
What was it? Blasting?
An explosion. There, another one.
It's quite far away.
Not at the dam, further upstream. I can't understand it.
Well, there may have been an accident at the village. Upriver, I must go.
I'm coming with you.
No, don't move that leg. I'll come back and attend to it later.
You're not here to give me orders, Doctor. My jeep's outside. The dam! That one came from the dam.
Impossible, there is no one working there.
It was the dam, I tell you. Help me, Doctor, help me. Oh, blast the leg, I can't stand on it.
I won't help you to kill yourself, Mr. Gurney.
All right, I'll call there. Quickly, get me there, quickly.
All right, come on, lean on me, senor.
Brown!
Here, all right.
What happened?
The diversion tunnels have been blown in.
The cofferdam's breached too. What happened, man? What happened?
Sabotage. Here's Gurney.
Brown, is that you? Come over here to the jeep.
The diversion tunnels at the head of the gorge have been dynamited. And the upstream cofferdam as well.
I can see that, you fool. The sluice gates. Why haven't they been opened?
The sluice gates are jammed, sir.
What do you mean, Latham?
Well, the mechanism's been dynamited.
Then we'll have to blow them out.
We'll never do it. It'll take half a ton of nitro.
All right. You take a truck and get me some blasting gelatin, as much as you can.
Right, sir.
And hurry!
Don't take any risks with that nitro.
I'll look after it.
Hey, look at that water piling up.
If we don't get those sluice gates open, that uncooled section will go.
It'll go for sure.
Those sabotage certainly organized themselves this time. They must have got hold of an explosives expert.
An explosive expert? Well, haven't you got it yet?
What do you mean?
Don't you see? This could only have been planned by an experienced engineer. Someone who knew every detail about the construction of the dam and knew the only way it could be destroyed.
But, well then who?
Macquarie, of course. Only Macquarie.
No, that's impossible. He's in Scotland by now.
And he told me. Said he'd be back to do the Lord's work. Macquarie told me, and now I know what he meant.
You must be crazy if you can believe that.
He went no further than a taxo and made his way back. Then contacted the biggest landowners and offered to do the job they'd have never managed without him.
But why Macquarie?
Why? Don't you know why? Do you think a man needs to be mad to hate me enough to do a thing like this? Here's all right.
I've got it, sir.
The fuses? What about the fuses?
It's in the truck with the nitro.
Gurney, you're mad if you think anyone's going to take that stuff down there in the dark and try to blast those sluice gates.
I'm not asking anyone to do it. I'm going to do it myself. Now help me out of the jeep, Doctor.
No, please, stay where you are.
You'll never make it. Look at the river. That uncooled section will go before you've had a chance to set the charges.
Let it go, then. That whole section, I can build it again. But the rest of the dam's got to be saved. And talking only wastes time.
If the weakest part goes, the whole dam may burst.
He's right. Gurney, haven't you got the sense left to realize there's nothing you can do?
I can die, can't I? If there's nothing else to be done, I can die!
Doctor, stop him. He's a maniac.
Let me get over that truck. I'm going to take it down on the rim, and don't any of you try to stop.
But you shall be stopped.
Doctor, I warn you.
All right then, go! Go!
Help me! Someone help me!
I can't stand this. Somebody's got to
No!
go.
No, let him do it himself, all right.
It's my leg! If it wasn't for this leg... Brown, you've got to help me. Please help me.
No, Gurney. I'm not going to help you. Even if it were any use, I wouldn't help you.
All right.
I couldn't take the responsibility, sir.
What's wrong with you all? Do you expect me to sit here and watch that dam break? 2 years' work? That much sweat, that much effort, smashed down and swept away? You expect me to watch it happen?
Yes, you must watch it happen.
I tell you, I'd rather go with it.
No, you must not destroy yourself. You must find the strength it takes, the real strength, to see this thing happen, and let it happen to you.
It's cracking. Oh, look at that crack.
Yes, it's going. It's going.
Mr. Gurney, stand here and watch. I ask you. I ask God for you.
All right, Doctor. I'll show you. I'll show all of you.
He's crazy.
Come on, help me. You, Doctor, help me to the edge of the gorge. And stand by me.
Very well, I will. I will stand by you.
Go on. Break! Go on, break! I'll build again. I'll build again. I'll build again!
So ends our Caltex play, The Concrete Anthem. In a moment we will give you tonight's cast and tell you about next week's presentation in the Caltex Theatre. Ladies and gentlemen, the producer of tonight's Caltex play, Creswick Jenkinson.
Thank you. The Concrete Anthem was written by Lydia Raguson and adapted for radio by Kay Keavney. In the starring role you heard...
I played Edward Gurney.
This was John Gray. The supporting cast was as follows: Macquarie, Frank Taylor; Brown, Stuart Finch; Albright, Malcolm Billings; Dr. Cabrera, Al Thomas; Rose Macquarie, Elaine Montgomery.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkinson. Next week in the Caltex Theatre you will hear A Leap in the Dark, the story of a doctor who fought for the principles of love and kindness in a totalitarian state, and of the woman, Yani, ex-mistress of a general executed for treason, who was the one to stand by the doctor in his hour of need. Be listening next week when Lyndall Barbour, Murray Powell and Frank Waters star in A Leap in the Dark. Now this is your compere, Rick Hutton, bidding you good night on behalf of your hosts, Caltex Oil, marketers of Caltex Super Gasoline and Caltex Gasoline, the world-famous RPM 1030 Special Motor Oil, and Marfac Lubrication.